Right. What we learned in last class?
Yes.
We learned two things, right? Number one, about RStudio, right? One is about RStudio we learned. In the RStudio, we have mainly four windows we have it. One is called as source window. It is also known as script window. Source window or script window. That is a place where exactly we are going to write our code. N number of lines of code you can write it. It provides facility to write n number of lines of code you can write here. And next we have here our console. We have it. That console is allows you to write one line statements. What is this? One line code you can write it immediately. You can execute and you can see how things are there. Okay. Now third one we have here objects. What are the objects are available? Those are objects. We can observe it. That is called as environment objects. It's called as what? Environment objects. So environment or is also called as history. We can, and it is more flexible. Whatever checkbox you are selecting, based on the checkboxes, what will be coming in the third window, what will be coming in the fourth window will be decided. And fourth window we have here like files. We are going to show it, or it may be showing here what is this packages, or it may be showing here some help documents, etc. These are the four windows what we have in the RStudio. And RStudio is only we are going to write the user friendly of the developer. It is equal to the SQL TOAD Toad, SQL developer, or in Java case Eclipse IDE, whatever Java Eclipse IDE we have it. Or in case of Python, we have here some Eclipse that is called as PyCharm. Or we have Python also can be used in the Eclipse also can be used it. So what these all user-friendly IDEs are doing, same job this also doing here. Just developer user-friendly. Auto syntax correction and guidelines about the functions are going to get it very user-friendly way. Now second, we started with data types. We learned about what? Data types. And the data types also I said atomic data types. What is this? Atomic. Atomic means base. You can say atomic also as a base. Base data types we learned it. Now what are the base data types we learned it? First one we concentrate on the numeric. First one is what? Numeric. If you go for the C language or C++, we have to define int x is equal to 0 something. Here, those all data types you need not define exclusively. If you define x is equal to 10, system will understand it's a number. If you define x is equal to ABCD, system will understand it's a character. Something like that, system has its own intelligence. Now second, we went for what is the data type we saw? Integer. To define integer, we have to write at the end of the number L we have to specify. What do you have to specify? L we have to specify. Next, third one we have here, what is this? Character, we learned about it. And fourth one we have here, what is this? Logical, we have it. Logical also we learned. Next, fifth one we have it, that's called as what? Complex, we learned about it. So these are the five basic or atomic data types we learned it. And some basic functions also we got chance to learn about it. One of the function we learned that is called as class function. What is the use of this class function? To know the data type of given object. Everything is object only in R as well as Python. Whatever we are defining, that is called as object. One function is called as object only. One variable is called as object only. Okay. Tomorrow, if you define the function and class of the name of the function, if you return, it is going to return. Okay, it's a function like this. Is going to tell to you. Okay. Next, we have here ls is a one function. It is useful to list the all the variables available in the workspace. Okay, available variables. Instead of variables, you can say objects in workspace. Available objects in workspace. Would we have here rm and this ls rm exactly same as the Linux commands. Rm is useful to remove the remove objects from workspace. And also we have here one super command that is called as rm. Then what is this? List is equal to ls. What is the use of this one? It is to remove all the things. Here only whatever you specified inside this one. Suppose you specified a, then what will happen? A object will be removed. If I execute this one, what will happen? It removes all objects removed from the workspace. All objects removed from the workspace. Did you learn anything apart from this?
Conversion function.
Right, conversion functions. So what are the conversion functions we used? As dot star conversion functions. If you have the integer, you have to convert to the numeric, you can do it. And I said one technical word about this one. What is this? Coercion. That's right. This is called as coercion. The coercion purpose, we have the as dot star functions. And to know one more thing is available that is called as, what is this? Is dot star function. The given one is a corresponding to the given data type or not. Is dot number. If I am writing it is true or false, it is going to write the answer. That's what the is star functions. I think this is what we learned in last class. Now let us move on to the next one that is called as vectors. You know what? If I go and try to define, let us say, let me open the RStudio. So let me open the RStudio. Right. So for example, I am trying to define here a is equal to 2. A is equal to 2. Now go and try to run it. Now it is ran and we got a is equal to. Now if we go and try to observe, let us say is dot number numeric, then of a I am writing it. Then what is the answer we are getting? True. Now I am writing here is dot vector, I am writing it, and a I am writing it. Then run it. What we got it? True. And one more thing I will write here. B is equal to, let us say, ROM. Then I am writing here is dot character, I am writing it is dot character of B. And next I am writing is dot vector of B. Then if I go and try to execute this one, we got here, what is this? True. Now let me write here C is equal to, okay, what I am writing is true. True. Then same I am writing here, what is this? Is dot, what is this? Logical. Is dot logical. And is dot logical of C, I am writing it. Then we are writing here is dot vector, I am writing it. Now let us go and try to execute this. We can observe what we are seeing it. Not true. Why? Because I given here by mistake. What is this? String. Yeah, string I given. That is wrong. There is a keyword. Keyword it has to identify me, so I have to specify without strings. So what I want to say from these three examples is, one number also called as a vector only, one character also called as vector only, one boolean also called as vector only, one complex also called as vector only, one integer also called as vector only. But vector of length is equal to 1. Vector of length is equal to 1. You know what is a vector? Before that, I want to talk about our known word that is called as array. We are aware of the C language, those concepts. We know what is the array, right? Vector came from the arrays. Matrix came from the arrays. List came from the arrays. Down the line, we come to understand what these all are. So as of now, vector came from the array. What is the problem with this A is, if I want to get the two values, let us say 2 and 3, both the values I want to store in the A, is it possible? No. But possible with the vector. Your requirement is to store, if you want to store multiple values, then we need vector. However, we are going to store multiple values, I agree, but all the values can I go and can I define whatever data type I want, or it should be same data type? It should be same data type. I mean to say, let me define here one vector. The vector is called as V, I am saying it, and I am trying to map here, the values are called as, let us say I am trying to map values. And to define the vector, we have one function that is known as C function. What is the function is available? C is the function to define the vector. C is the function to define the vector. So let us go and try to use here the function called as C is the function. And elements I want to write here as, let us say 1, 2, 3, 4, I am writing it. Then go and try to execute this. Now we are able to see vector is created. I want to see the list of elements of the vector. Click on the run. We are seeing how many elements are there? 4. Or how many items are there? If I say item or if I say element, both are one and same. Now we have here 4 elements or 4 items we have it. Suppose if I am interested to see the first element, then what I can do is V of, then we have to write here square bracket, then 1. Then you can run this one, you can see what you are seeing. V of 1 is equal to, we are seeing 1, we are seeing it. V of 1 is equal to, we are seeing what? 1. Now tell me, if I want to get this element, what I have to do it? V of 3. Then go and try to run this one. We are seeing what is this? 3. So creating vector is very easy job. And vector is now 1D array of data elements, same data type. That point is very important, same data type. Now the C function is used to create the vectors. So we created here vector C 0.2, 0.3. 0.2 and 0.3 both are belongs to the number data type. That's what this vector is called as. What type of vector? Numeric vector. And C true false written. True and false both are belongs to logical. So this vector is called as what? Logical vector. And this also logical. This is what? Characters. So it's called as character vector. So we'll observe what are the items we have inside that one. The items are belongs to which data type. Based on the data type, we'll say that vector is the data type vector. I mean to say all are numbers, it's called as numeric vector. All are characters, it's called as character vector. All are logical, it's called as logical vector. Something like that we are going to say as vector. Now, why it is called as 1D is only we have going to organize as a row. We are going to organize everything as one row. That's called as 1D. If you say matrix, row will be there, column will be there. In case of matrix, it's called as what? 2D. Our regular database tables, those are also 2D. There also we have the rows and columns we have it. But this is, there is no situation of here column. Everything is one row only. You are going to organize. If I have 10 values or 10,000 values, doesn't matter. Everything is going to organize one row. That's why it's called as 1D array. Next, note that in above examples, T and F are shorthand ways. So I written here T and F, right? T and F is available. If you want, you can use it. However, recommended words are true and false only. That's what I'm trying to tell. Use the true and false one. You can also use the vector function to initialize the vector. Suppose previously what we used here, C. Instead of C, directly if you want to use the exact word of the vector, you can write like this, vector. And we can define whatever you want, you can go and you can define it. So numeric, and we are saying as length is equal to what? 10. That means what we are saying as my vector of the data type is number and the length is equal to 10 digits. So it's created now empty vector, it is created with 10 positions. I want to map the values. In the first position, what I am mapping? 1. In the second position, what I am mapping? 2, something like that. So if you want to create one vector using vector function, you can create it. For example, we are writing here, let us say A, and we are trying to map here the function called as, what is the function? Vector is the function. What type of data type you want? The data type you have to write here. We have to go for, what is this? Numeric. And what is the length you want it? Length is equal to, we want here, let us say 5, we are trying to take it. Now go and try to run it. Now vector is created. I want to see what we have in the A. Run it. We are seeing here how many positions? 5 positions we are seeing it. Suppose in the fourth position, okay, I want to override with the value, that value is called as, let's say 30. Then go and try to run this one. We're able to see A4 30. Now if you try to write here A, then try to run this one. We are seeing what we are seeing 0 0 30 0. Now okay, there is a concept down the line. I'll discuss more about it. What is called as mutable. Second is what? Immutable. What is immutable and what is immutable is, let us say I defined here vector. Am I able to change the or override the value of the vector or not? If yes, it is mutable. If no, once you define, you cannot change that one, then it is called as immutable. Now tell me, vector is a mutable or immutable? Mutable. Because I am able to change the value of the vector. Previously, fourth position 0 is available. Now we have what? 30. So it is a mutable. It's a mutable. Now, let us go and try to understand here next one.
Can we change again the values?
Yeah, again you can change this value a number of times. Once it is allowed means you can go and you can change a number of times. Let us say 50. A of fourth position is equal to 50. Now, if you go and try to write here A, then A value I am trying to see it. What you are seeing? 50.
Sir, in case of C, for integer 4, by 2 memory will be allocated, right, sir?
Here also memory allocations are there. Okay, good question. In C and C++, if integer, there are some 2 bytes, 4 bytes, some coding is there, right, internally. Here also like that is available. However, it's not fixed. It's not fixed here. I mean to say, I defined vector is equal to 30, length is equal to 30. But you define only 2 elements. They don't occupy 30 into 4, let us say. 40 bytes of information was reserved for you. You'll keep in the flexible mode. How much you utilized it, that much only will be allocated. Remaining things will be free space.
In case of C, we can control over the size of the object or variable by using size of operator.
Right.
Can we
Yes, here also you'll be knowing the sizes. We'll see that one. Now we understand here what does it mean by vector. There are occasions when different class of R objects get mixed together, then R will convert implicitly into some class. What is the meaning of that? For example, we are writing, let me clear the work area. I cleared it, both the places. I am writing here a vector, we are trying to define it. The vector is equal to C, we have to define, that is the shortest one. Instead of writing the vector, you can write C, you can write it. I am writing here 1, then I am writing here A. What is my basic definition? Vector can store only one data type. But here 1 is belongs to what? Numeric. A is belongs to what? Character. And also I am writing here one more thing that is called as, let's say 2L. 2L means what? It is integer. Let me execute this. Then it is executed. Then what happened? What is the value? That means you mean to say my A vector contains one numeric one, one character one integer one. Is it correct? That is against to my definition, right? So what it internally did is automatically what it did is, if you go and try to observe the A, execute it, what you got? Everything is converted into the character. That's what the auto correction. Automatically system will convert into one possible data type. Here it is not possible to convert A into the integer or number, because system don't know A equivalent value in the numeric, right? So it's written, okay, I cannot convert A, so let us do in other way. 1 only converted to the character, 2L only converted to the character. It's converted and it is given to you. Suppose I am writing here next one 0.6a. This converted to what? Character. See, true comma true. It's converted to what? Excellent, right? True means what? 1. That's why it's converted to 1 comma 2. Now here a true. It cannot convert. Yeah, that's right. A equivalent value into the logical system don't know. That's the reason true only converted to the character and is given to you. However, for example, you given something which is one complex 1 plus 2i and one integer and you given one number and you given one a like that, and this will be converted into what, sir? Tell me. Character only. So ultimately it's going to unexpected. C we didn't return. What you didn't return? C we didn't return. C is missing. So now if you go and try to observe here A, then try to run it, we're able to see 1 plus 2i to 1a. So if something is not possible, system will be converting. Final goal is what? Character is going to convert it. It can convert the character because by appending the quotes. That's what we understand about the conversions. Now, objects can be explicitly coursed from one class to another using gas.star functions if available. What is the meaning of this one? We know one variable object I can convert into one data type to other data type, right? Similarly, one vector also can be converted into the one data type vector to other data type vector by taking the same function called as gas.star function. Suppose written here x is 0:6. What is the meaning is here? These two things are syntax are equal. I mean to say x, you defined here the values are c, then 0, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we are trying to define here one more thing that is called as y. Okay, y is equal to, we are trying to define here, let us say 0, we are writing 6. 0, colon, we are writing 6. These two things, if I execute it, I got the two things properly. Now I want to see x is equal to y. I am trying to see it. Then go and try to run this one. What it's saying? True, 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 true. That means this syntax and this syntax both are same or not? Both are same. If you want to see independent values, if you want to see it, what we have in the x and what we have in the y, go and try to run it. We're able to see 0 to 6, 0 to 6. But what is the problem here is, if you have the continuous things are available, you can define like that. Some 10 to 20 I want it, something like that. You can define like this also. But something 10, then 13, then 16, then 19, like that means I cannot go in this method. I cannot go in this method. And we do have here one more thing that is called as a function called as letters. And append letters. Now
C should be written. C should recognize as vector, right? So C should be written.
letters is one function is available in R built-in constants. Then if you go and try to observe what is this, letters is the function. So letters are 26 characters, and you can go and you can write here letters correctly only written, spelling the wrong written, I think. Spelling correctly only written, right? Letters.
I think we have to return C of
The package is not available. Like the
Base package only, right? Oh, maybe it is not a function, it is a constant value, right? Like this you have to define. So the problem is what? It is not a function, it is a vector kind of notation. That's what we need to write like this. So let us go and try to write here as 1, 2, then go and try to define it. Click on the run. It is defined. It is defined, right? So let us go and try to see the values. Class of then y. Now if you write in the class of y, what we are seeing it is a character vector, but it is more than one element is available, which is a vector. It is a character vector. And if you want to confirm it is a real vector or not, is dot vector also you can write it and you can validate. So this is the one of the letters is available to generate the sequence of letters. And this is the coding whatever we have here previously, that is called as x map with what? 1 is to some 5. 1 is to some 5. This kind of notation is to generate a sequence of numbers. This kind of thing is to generate sequence of alphabets. That's what you have to note it down. Okay, please note it down this one. To generate sequence of alphabets, use letters. It is a constant. Letters is a constant. Constants built in R. Constants built in R. Constants built in R. Like letters is on constant. Next is what is available here? Pi. You know everyone pi, right? Suppose if I am trying to write here pi, then I am trying to execute this one. What is the value we are displaying here? 3.14 is the pi. Pi also one of the built-in one. Pi and month name. If I want to know the month name, just you can go and you can write here month name, and we are going to see the month name. We are going to see it. January, February, March, April. This is a fixed one. These are constants. Next we have here month ABB abbreviations. So you can go and you can see here month abbreviations. Okay, now click on here run. We are able to see month abbreviations. So letters is the one constant. Here small letters means what here? Previously capital letters means is going to write here capital display is going to do it. Means let me go for here y. Then I want to see the values of the y whatever we have it. Just run it. We are seeing what capital A, capital B, right? Suppose I am writing a small thing, I am writing it. Let's say Z. We are trying to map here letters, then square bracket, letters, then square bracket, and we are writing here 1 is to 2. We are writing it. Then let me execute it. Then let us go and try to see the Z. Then we are going to see click on run. We'll see A and B. Okay. In the brackets write as other constant functions are. In the brackets write as other constant functions are. These 4 things you write it. Other constant functions are. Instead of function word, better function means you have to use the what is that? Bracket. It is a square bracket, right? Instead of function word, constant built-ins are. Constant built-ins. Built-ins are letters month ABB, month dot name and pi. Month dot name and pi. Now we are clear about one point that is called as this one. Class we are aware of it. As dot numeric we are aware of it. As logical. Then we know ABC. As dot numeric we are seeing it. See it. This is the NA. Why it is showing it? Yeah, right. A is available. A we are trying to convert into what? Number. A equivalent number system don't know. So it is written what? NA. B equivalent also system don't know, it is written as NA. This is called as coercion. It's trying to convert but is not able to do it. Next is available single value variable also called as vector, that already we are aware of it. Now this is something beautiful one. If you see 52 cards are available, right? In each pack we have the 52 cards. In that one 13 are available clubs, diamonds, hearts and spades. What is the problem I am seeing with the vector is, let us say I am defining the vector called as cards is a vector name, and I am trying to define one vector with the name of, let us say 13, 13, 13. 4 parts will be there, like clubs 13, diamonds 13, like that. If I execute this one, I got the result also, I got it. It's executed successfully. And I want to see the result. Let us go and try to see the result. Cards. Then click on the run. I am able to see 13, 13. What is the problem is, what is the 13? There should be some name is available. It will be very readable, right? As name is not available, I don't know 13 is a student number, or it is an employee number, or it is a card number, or it is a card diamonds, number of diamonds, or number of arts, or something like that. So how to provide a name to vector elements? I want to provide a name to vector elements. So how to provide the name? That's where we are writing here three syntaxes. We have it. Method 1. We defined one vector with the values. We defined one vector with the titles. And we are trying to use one function. That function is called as what? Names is the function we are using. Names of the values is equal to, we are providing what? Titles, we are providing it. Am I clear? Shall we go and try to do it? Okay. So let us say we define already values are available. Let us, for our understanding, cards underscore what? Values I am writing. Next I am writing here cards underscore titles. I am writing one more vector. Now C of, let us say first I am trying to write here as, let us say H, that stands for hearts. Then I am writing here, what is this? D, that stands for diamonds. Then I am writing here, let us say spades. Then I am writing, let us say one more is what? Clubs. So we are writing here C, clubs. Now values are available with me, titles are available with me. These two things I have to link it. To link that one, we have the function called as names function. We have it. In the names function, whatever we have the values, that values you have to take it. Cards underscore values is equal to what is this? Cards underscore titles. You can use equal to, you can use it, or you can use assignment operator, we can use it, whatever you want it. Now let me execute these things, click on the run. Now if I go and try to see the data of whatever we have the card values. Now just try to run that one. What you are seeing? Titles also showing or not? As titles are available, I can understand what is this 13 exactly. And what is this 13 exactly, I am able to understand it. And for example, I am writing here now bracket, then I am writing here H, then I am executing it. What you got? 30. That means what? I can read the elements. I can query the elements by position or by title. Previously, what we used to do in this place, we used to write 1 to read the first element. And now what we written here? We are writing here H, we are writing it, sorry. We are writing here H, we are writing. So I am able to read the elements by title or by position, whatever you wanted. Now one more method is available here. I written 3 statements I written, right? One is to store the values, one is to store the titles, third is to map these two things together. Those all things I can do in single line. That is the method 2. So we are writing here C, clubs is equal to 13, diamonds is equal to 13, hearts is equal to 13, spades is equal to 13. Single line we written. So let us go and try to do the same activity. We are writing cards. We are trying to map here. Then C of, let us say arts is equal to, then what is this? 13. Then again, what is the next one? Clubs is, okay, one more point is, but provide double quotes or single quotes, whatever it is. C is equal to, what is this? 13. Then arts is equal to 13. Then we have to provide here diamonds is equal to 13. Then we have to provide here spades is equal to 13. Next, go and try to execute this. We are able to execute, and we can observe the cards is equal to, what is that? Cards part only I selected and I run it. We got it. So that is a single line you can read. It accepts the double quotes as well as single quotes also. That's what we are trying to see in the next. Without quotes also it is accepting it. Whatever way you want to follow, you can follow. Now I written method 3 I written actually. Okay, method 2 also is okay. That means without quotes also you can write. Still system will treat properly. Next, one more example. Let us say you played cards Monday to Friday and record profit and loss as vector. Monday I got 100 rupees profit. Tuesday I got minus 20 loss. Something like that I can define it. More about that one you can go on, you can refer these manuals. So we learned what we learned in the vector exactly. Now with the vectors, what we learned exactly. Now you know creating vector, yes or no? What are the two functions we have here? One function is C is the function and it is small letter, sir. It should not be capital. Now, next is what? Vector. Directly I can write the keyword vector only I can write it. But whenever we are writing the vector, we have to define first what is this? What is the data type we have to define? And also what is the length? How many things you wanted? The length also you have to define. Some x is the length. Are you getting my point? These two things.
Vector, this is mandatory.
Right. If you are using vector, this is mandatory. Now, that's how we are going to create here vector. And we learned here one function. That function is known as names is a function to provide the titles. To provide titles. Now, as usual, we have the as dot star function. You can use it. Is dot star function. You can use it to do that one. We can read the elements. Read elements by position or by name. Something like this. We have here vector, and by position means we are going to write here like this one, and by name means we are going to write here like cards. Okay, and it should be in single quotes. If you're not putting in single quotes, then system will think like there is one function. And all are small cases, as in MS Word I am writing first, I automatically converting into the capital, but all are it is small cases. So we can read based on the position as well as based on the titles you can read it. And we can update the elements. We can update elements by taking what is that one. We can write here, suppose A is a vector, A of 1. If you want to update here something, you can go and you can write whatever value you want. Right? Simple. We can update, we can do the read. How to delete it? No. How to delete the one of the element? No. Suppose let me say as I have here A is a one vector, and the A vector I have the elements called as, let's say C 10 comma 20 comma 30 comma 40 comma 50, like that we have it. Let us say I am trying to run this one. Now we are seeing here A as how many elements are there? 5 elements we have it. Now I want to delete the 50. How to delete that 50? Whatever we have the A that we are trying to map with the element called as, let us say A of 5, right? Fifth element. Fifth element I want to map to the NA. Now go and try to run this one. We are seeing here A of 5 is equal to NA. Now we try to see what is the value we have in the A. Now try to run it. What you are seeing? 10, 20, 30, something like that. So we are removing that value and we are mapping to the NA, we are mapping it. NA we are mapping. So something you can go and you can do it.
Any reasons no space will be available, right, sir?
Yeah, no, not available. NA means not available. Okay. Or you can go and you can write here null also, you can write it. NULL null. That also keyword only. So if you go and try to write this one, replacement as length, already it is removed, right? So it is saying as replacement as length 0. It's not available already. Okay, something like that, it's trying to do it. I think this is what Max, what you have to learn about the vectors. Let us move on to the next one, that is known as matrices. Matrices. Yes, online folks, any questions? Chayot, Manoj. Any questions? No questions, right? Okay. Today, till here we'll practice it. Tomorrow we'll go for fresh minds matrices. And daily, compulsory you have to practice my notes. That is the first priority. And whatever I given points wise, those all things you have to practice. Once it is completed, at the end, whatever manuals I am giving, that manuals also have to read it. Basically, the data science guy, listen less, do more. You're getting my point, right? So 1 hour we are trying to listen here. How many hours you have the time? That many hours you can spend on the reading and implementing the practicals. And as it is open source, whatever you have the question, just type in the Google. Surely you'll get some solution for that. Okay, though R and Python implementation data science is famous today, R and Python are not came today. It came long ago. It is available, but that packages, those all things with respect to the data science, now it is developed from last 3 or 4 years. Sharp expanding of that package has happened. So anything you have in your mind, just help document is very neatly available in case of R as well as in case of Python also. Just you type in the Google or go to the help document. Here itself we have the help also available. Matter of previously I got the question of what is this letters, I got the question. Enter, immediately we are getting the same help document you are getting, right? Question mark, then letter, same help document you are getting. If you forgot the syntax or anything, you can go on, you can see from here. Basically, it didn't given here that much of greatly it didn't given for this case, but anyhow, up to some extent we are able to understand, right? Yes. Thank you. Tomorrow we'll meet same time. Bye bye.